way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up, oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's race day. 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 Crank it up.
Well, now, race fans, we're back here live on PTM Racing TV. As I mentioned before, Green Mountain Grill is still yet to fire up the engines and lay them on down thick and thin. So now it's time to give them the showcase and let them race it out as we get ready for our showcase here at Phoenix Raceway here in Avondale, Arizona. Hi, everyone. I'm the Crusader Christian Schreier joining you live tonight here at the Green Mountain Grill's Fast and Fun Truck Series. It's time to get down to the action as usual. Time to get down to the business part of things here as presented to you live. The Green Mountain Grill's Fast and Fun Truck Series here and now. Let's get to our grading order here to start this one off. On the pole, Nathan Meyer will be our number 1 qualifier here. The number 1 is outside. Triple Tray came to play Whitehead in the 33. Row 2 sees Craig Janzik in the 40 is outside. The 4 James Marauder Harris. Row 3 sees Robert the Mullet Man Lawrence in the 5 is outside. That's Christian Wilcox, 53. Row number 4, it's Tyler Meeks in the 35 is outside. Richard Fornshell in the 90. Row number 5, Jason Taylor in the 15 is outside. Brock Whitehead in the 82. Row number 6 is going to be Sheldon Pierce in the 8 is outside the 52. That's Dakota Wilson. Row number 7, that's going to be Sean Bounty in the 34 is outside. That's the 91, Kevin Kirscher. Row number 8 is going to be Stephen Plus, 6'9", is outside. William Mann Jr. in the 29. Row 9, we'll see Daniel Half in the 32 is outside. John Thacker, the 56. Row number 10 is going to be Josh Ball in the 6th outside. Russ Kilgore in number 2. Row number 11 is George Young in the 48 is outside. Garth Snyder in the 88. Final stars, row 12, Steve Clegg in the 22 is outside. Kevin Ward in the 112. And then, of course, on the back half of our field, Adam Scrum in the 95, Charles Whitehead the 51. Rounding out your field, 26, make the call. Here's a little thing for you guys to know tonight. When these drivers go off the line, they will go at green. There will be no starts early, no nothing, because that base truck likes to come off turn 2. After the dog leg into that turn area, they'll bring it back straight away into turn number 3 and 4, and then they'll send them on home and let them ride it out into the distance. Off of corner number 4 this time on by. Look for the cactus to light in the sky. Green flag is out at Phoenix Raceway. I never get tired of hearing that sound just whizzing on by us here. Coming down off turn number 2, off from the dog leg, turn number 1. We got trouble down there a little bit here. Russ Kilgore, and it looks like Charles Whitehead connected in a little bit. Troubles down there for both drivers here. Unfortunately, it looks like they'll have some work to do here as the field starts to move their way down inside from the dog leg area turn. You can see drivers either going up top and staying there or looking to go to the bottom and get a huge runoff. You've got a couple options here. You can either make or break your machine here. You can really make some moves here. Going to the outside, though, means you're saving tires a little bit more, but you'll lose a little bit of time on the other end of that spectrum because drivers are going to be trying to look for openings when they can. On board here with that Camping World number 35, Tyler Meeks, as he now pulls ahead right up to the 33 of Trey Whitehead. Trey trying to hold outside banking here with that Buffalo Springs 33 as drivers lead their way through on the fight, on the charge. Everybody looking for some openings when they can. Kevin Kersher, the number 91 champion Power Equipment Machine, now also looking to get a move off on his other champion boy in the 53 of Christian Wilcox. Wilcox, though, really having a career resurgence here in this season and in this championship hunt. He's been looking so far and so many times to prove that he can hang with everyone, and he's not just another name to the show. He's a guy you got to really keep your eye on and really keep a strong holding with. Coming right around here, still the battle raging on here between these two drivers. Neither one giving an inch. Everybody going for broke, going for everything they can. On the back straightaway, entering in from turn 2 here. You see now Fortune Forshell having a little bit of a company built up as the number 82 of Brock Whitehead is looking to make a move off on him. And you can see that focus in that eye, the gleam in his eyes just tells you all you need to know about this man, this young man, what he's trying to accomplish here and what he's trying to bring to the table. He's after a lot of things, and he's after another win here in his Truck Series racing season. He has not got back to victory lane since Texas Motor Speedway 1 season ago. He told me earlier today that the more I keep bringing it up, the more he just wants it more bad than ever before. He said if he was going to get it done, he said he's hoping it's going to be tonight. William Mans Jr., number 29, Mans Maintenance Machine, dealing with that 69 Stephen Fless here in the lemonade stand. 69 Ford F-150 here. Both drivers in a little bit of a brigade. Everyone looking for opportunities when they can to strike it down hard and look for openings as well. The onboard camera here with John Thacker, as well as the Ford F-150 Keystone Light Machine looks to try to charge them up. Huge battle going on between these drivers. Every single one of them looking towards the end, looking towards the fight. Every man looking out for themselves. Nobody giving an inch to either one of them. It's all about the pace. It's all about the control of the trucks as well. Dakota Wilson, the 52, seems to be kind of struggling a little bit here, but he does have some damage on that left rear corner panel. And he's going to have more damage there, smacking that wall protection down that back straightaway. Here comes the number 48 of George Young, trying to lead the NPR boys into the fight. The mid-pack racing team here doing what they can to kind of make something work, something to kind of go off the ends here. Every single one of these drivers, though, look at just kind of at even playing fields, even odds as they enter into turn number one, if you will, past the ever elusive dog leg turn you saw when you come off that front straightaway. That's the dog leg, and that was turn 1. They just entered in going 3 wide, and boy, was it something there. Every single one of those guys giving it everything they could, just trying to pass the other while also trying to keep themselves out of trouble. The Toyota Supra, the Tundra, of Greg Janzik, trying to make his way up at the DuPont number 1 of Nathan Meyer right now, his teammate from Oval Sim Performance. And it looks like Meyer's deciding to revert back to his old colors here. Kind of mounting a little bit of a charge here right now. Janzik going to the inside, looking to make a move off his teammate here. He knows he's got something to prove tonight to his Elite Performance Industry Motorsports machine. Certainly putting up a fight and putting on a little bit of a run to get there. As they come off down across that front straightaway here, down towards the dog leg. Every single one of these drivers in a hot brigade, looking towards any openings they can. Trey Whitehead, the number 33. You can see the banners on his colors today. He's still rocking and rolling with that green banner there. He is one of the elite field of drivers that can have a playoff championship hunt hope. You even see that forward James Harris here, already a season champion in his own right. He is right now the defending racing champion of the Champion Power Equipment Fast and Fun Cup Series division. He got that championship win back at Auto Club Speedway, and maybe what could be considered one of the most hectic and crazy races we've ever witnessed from those drivers. Every single one of the top 4 had a chance, had a shot at taking that one home, but it would go to the 4 of Harris that night, managing to walk away and hope for the best. Off the ends here, down through turn number 2, and looks like an old rivalry might be brewing again. Bumpers put together, the 40 and the 4 collide in turn 2. And there's no love lost between Harris and Janzik, as you can probably tell earlier. Janzik still has a little bit of thoughts here for the 4 of James Harris. Even though they may be friends off the track, that don't mean nothing when you're on the track. That's like trying to compare someone who drives out on the middle of a cornfield here in Iowa to those that just drive on the streets in Des Moines. We are two completely different ends of the spectrum, and there ain't nothing else to say there. Forge out right now on the 90 here. Sure Feed trying to get something going here, as last week he was our feature winner, coming away with a huge W and a big victory to help kind of renaissance his crew and his team. He hasn't been able to really accomplish or regain that magic for a little bit of time, but now seems to be getting a better idea of it here. On board here with Kevin Kershaw right here as the number 91 Champion Power Equipment Cup trucks machine here in that Chevrolet Silverado, looking to make a move off on the Remington 15 of Jason Taylor. The thing with Jason right now, my friends, is he's been more eyeing the longer runs. He's been more on the closing end to really hang in with the field and hanging back with them for a time or two until things get a little bit more rambunctious here. It seems like he's got a better clue and a better grip of things, but will that be a long run scenario? We'll have to see. Right now, Meyer and Jandik still in a little bit of a hot brigade for the lead here as the rest of our field kind of comes around the track. Everybody moving the chains on in, doing what they have to here, and I think it's that time of day again. I showed it last night on Sunday. Well, this time, instead of pedal to metal, it's time to crank it up. I know you guys are probably not used to me bringing that up here around here, but that's just something new we're trying out here on the show to give you guys something new, a little bit more refreshing here on the broadcast. It's one thing we always try to do around here on these shows is try to find unique ways and unique stuff to add on, and this was something kind of the producers brought to my attention. We worked hard on it the last couple of days, but believe me, we're still working a lot of other configurations of that out, so stay tuned. It'll get a lot better from here. And if you haven't already stayed tuned to us here, well, then what are you doing here on the show? You better follow us up here on Facebook and hit our YouTube, subscribe there so you never miss a beat. That's the only way you never miss any of our shows or never miss any of our chances to watch the races. And of course, when these guys come into town, you definitely know there's some big things coming up. Tomorrow night, we are going to try something a little different. We will be broadcasting 10 minutes of practice all the way through qualifying and the race itself at the LA Coliseum. It will be the clash at the Coliseum tomorrow night as Champion Power Equipment Cup Series returns to the show. You'll see all the action and then some coming here live on PTM Racing TV. But for now, at the moment, the battles rage on. The war has just begun, and Nathan Meyer is currently in a hotbed of excitement dealing with his teammate Janzik. Will he be able to hold him off for the long haul? Find out when we return. Tonight's race, ladies and gentlemen, has been brought to you in part by our good friends over at Green Mountain Grills. When you guys need the best wood-fired pellet grills on the market, there is only one brand and name that we have trusted in, and that is, of course, our good friends over at Green Mountain Grills. If you guys need to get yourself a new grill up for your next season holiday coming up, well, remember, spring is around the corner, and you guys need a good grill to go along with it. So be sure to check them out at www.greenmountaingrills.com so you never miss yourself a chance at getting some awesome barbecue and done this spring and summer. Back to the action right now currently as the field continues to move their way in and move on down through the fields. Nathan Meyer right now in the number 1 DuPont Chevrolet Silverado, still dealing with a teammate there in Janzik. Meanwhile, James Harris trying to represent and resemble the speed that his team at 3Y Motorsports has brought to the table. They've been known to really give themselves a good fight and a good shootout here, and they are looking to do it yet again. But it seems like the way these two are drafting off one another, I almost get the feeling that there's a little bit of a timing scenario going on that's making everybody kind of question where they're going in. Janzik trying to make a move off on the number 1 in Meyer here, looking for maybe an opening, or he's looking to kind of help keep him pushed around. Can he push it in there? Looking at the speeds right now, all drivers hitting upwards of 160 miles per hour. Some getting even a little bit higher. They're going right up from 155 to 159 in some of these turns. But it really looks like 160 is the maximum they will get because they're really trying to focus on one little thing here, one key factor, and that is a long run scenario. These trucks do not like to have to be pushed around too much here with this 550 horsepower package on those tires, especially considering with the 111 degrees out here on this hot Avondale scheme. It can be a bit of a handful here for these drivers as we take a look at our track tech talk. 77 degrees right at the moment. Track temp though way in the hundreds. It is not for the faint of heart right now for these drivers to have to deal with on this mile-long track. It'll definitely be a bit of a handful and a bit of a head scratcher for those that can survive it out, while the rest will have to look for openings when they can, find shots to hit it up when they get to it. A lot of damage right now currently on, it looks like the 112 of Kevin Ward. Kevin Ward here driving some NPR colors for the night. Guess he decided to kind of have a little bit of a little showcase for him and his team here with that style. Not quite working out too well though, as he's currently put a lap down further in with Charles Whitehead as well. And that's the thing too, it's going to make it a lot more difficult here to have to find laps and find ground and timing here, especially when drivers are looking for openings when they can and find other spots when they get to it. Really, the hardest part I would say here that everyone's going to be facing is not burning tires up, not getting too loose, not too tight, especially when you're coming around those dog legs and you're coming around turn 2 especially. Most of the action I feel will be kind of coming from those restarts on the dog leg where everyone's just kind of in a frantic panic to find an opening, find a shot to take it out. We've seen 5 wide, we've seen 6 wide here on this track many times before. And believe me, I've been a part of it, some of it myself, and it still kind of gives you a little bit of that brunt, a little scary thought, thinking, man, what the heck are we going to do when this happens? So at the moment here, again, still Olson Performance here rocking their dual banded colors here, trying to get each of themselves into the championship hunt with only a couple races left. This season is nearing its end point, its end game, if you will. The final race is going to come on February 28th at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We have less than 3 weeks remaining before we hit the end game of it all, and then we will return in just less than a month later as they will bring back the drivers, they'll bring back the tracks, and everybody will have their say once again to go out and race with the best of them. The onboard camera here yet again here with that PM & Sons number 8 of Sheldon Pearson. You can see one thing about Pearson right now that, again, I know I keep giving this guy the old jinx and I keep giving him as much of bad luck as I can from a broadcaster curse perspective, But I really do feel that with just a little bit of luck and a little bit of help, he can seriously take some damage and do some work here on these drivers and really take aim and take shots when he has to. Like right there, you see him going at it with the 35 Tyler Meeks. Meeks gives him the opening. He sneaks his way inside. Meeks graciously at least blocking him out or trying to run him off the track. Good move there on his end to stay in line and in touch. But that just kind of brings in the whole point, though. It's literally you're struggling to have to fight your inner demons and your inner worst self to not have to put a bumper or two to these guys who are trying to, take out one of your teammates or one of your fellow drivers. Because at the end of the day, they're all going for that same thing. They all want to be the champion, but only one can be the full renaissance of it all. Dakota Wilson right now, currently the damage is just too much, and he knows he's got to back it down a little bit. Wilson Racing is not looking too good here. Wilson Motorsports, I should say. And you might as well get used to seeing these two kind of up front for now, because really it seems like that's the only thing they're going to do is just draft off one another and help each other out as much as they can. That's exactly what a teammate should do. And I think Janzik, though, is kind of playing a little mind game here with his teammate Meyer, because you can see he actually, as he goes down to that dogleg turn, he's actually kind of angling the truck out just a little bit more often than not. And I think that's kind of making it to be where he's wanting more of a runoff, looking for more of an opening to take away from him. Triple Trey, the man can to play right head right now. Buffalo Springs Barbecue Company. 33 looking to gain more ground up. He is currently moved into third as the field continues to go long distance, long haul. One of the biggest things too that I think we're going to have to watch for is who will be the driver that, conserves the longest, goes for the distance, and really can charge up. Because really, this is what we saw a couple of seasons ago, where everybody was in a frantic panic. They were all on a charge and all on a hot pursuit, where everybody would literally move in further and further into the field and into the distance, and they actually would take over spots left and right because they knew there would not be any cautions, and if there was like one or two at most. At the start of the season for Cup and the trucks, unfortunately, there are a lot of new drivers coming in. You had a lot of guys having to try to work around the system and around the banks, and that once they started to kind of tame that down, they started to figure things out, then all of a sudden, then the racing became really good. It started to get back to what I felt like you can always trust in with a fast and fun race. And at the end of the day, I think that's really all what we can appreciate and really want to see. Inside zone, though, for number 34, Sean Bounty. Looks like Bounty looking to try to take down a few notches. Robert Lawrence here, he will go into pit road here in the number 5. So it looks like he is going to be the first one to blink on when he wants to go into pits and when he wants to take this one up a notch or two. I have a feeling, though, we get about halfway later into this race here, we may see guys start to get a little bit more aggressive and less cautious on how they set these times up. With 100 laps of the distance, going a full 40, to me that tells me you can go pretty much the full 50 and then actually use that to your advantage for later on. But I mean, will any of these drivers do that? That's the big thing. We still got a lot of guys still going through the field right now. There's a little bit of contact there, unfortunately, for Wilcox and Taylor. Wilcox going right into the wall off of turn number 2. Gonna get him slowed down a little bit. Sean Bounty continues to still fire it out at the 35 of Tyler Meeks. Neither one of these drivers giving an inch or giving up anything here. And that's the thing. That's the key ticket to really keep your eye on and really play out. In the back of the pack here, battle for 17. George Young in the 48 and the 32. Daniel Half now having a little bit of a showmanship here. Half trying to get something to go here in that super clean machine. Very good looking ride there as well. Definitely like the look of that and the feel of that car, I will say. Or that truck, I should say. Trying to get that I'm pretty sure it says Naughty Daddy, but I'm pretty sure it says Natty Daddy. Trying to get the 48 of George Young here if he can. Yeah, I'm just going off what it says on the rear end of his truck. Don't come at me in the comment section for that one, folks. Please and thank you. Believe me, I already got myself a little bit of heat for my little comment earlier in the race just a little bit earlier ago. And again, I will say it. I did not mean to say that one word, but Usually I do not. I try to keep my language out of that business, but if you're wondering what happened, well, you have to go back and watch it on our YouTube end. It is uploaded right now. Just watch up the Pushing Limits Racing League Season 4 Legends race at Martinsville. It was pretty much to the right at the end. Things were just so chaotic. I didn't even know how to call that one or how to really end that race out. So just feel free to comment and describe how that one went. Kevin Kershaw right now, though, I'll tell you one thing. He's pretty much been kind of locked and loaded. We knew this guy had some speed, but he's already been locked and loaded here on the track and not really giving an inch to anybody out here. But we do know there's another driver out here that can do that, and that just so happens to be that Sure Feed Chevrolet Silverado driver, Richard Fornshow. Now, Fornshow, he's kind of a mixed bag in my opinion. He's kind of got a bit of a mix-up of hard racing mentality with conservative nature, while also seemingly finding himself in kind of the inopportune spots in the most inopportune places at times. Like, he'll race you hard, he'll race you well, but at the same time, he almost kind of comes off as kind of a sleeper hit. He has kind of that style to him that really, to me, doesn't really translate to anything big or major going on the track. It's nothing that he's going to like kind of write home about. He's always going to go crazy with. It just seems like he's going to be more focused than ever than these drivers. Well, right now, the Zany fam, Craig Jantic, has got the race lead. Jantic is your new leader, so Meyer will have to try to hunt him down as we turn up a few notches and turn on the volume. Crank it up a little bit, guys. Oh, I still love hearing that. Sound these trucks make and the power they bring to the table, I'll tell you guys, hearing it really is nothing like hearing it live and in person, but it certainly is something cool to see though when you just watch them all play it out on the track, all really running them down on the lines here and hoping for the best they can get. Everybody right now kind of going into pit road, opting their times and getting the optimal line of sights here. Now this becomes a long-term runoff. It looks like those that went in the pit road are going full 50, and then they're going to go for the 100 here. That seems to be kind of the telling of the tale here, kind of the key thing that we were wanting to know. Would they go full 50? They did indeed. Now we know they can go halfway across the race into the distance. But guys that went earlier, like Robert Lawrence and them, that kind of makes me question a little bit of their strategy, because the thing with Lawrence, he didn't get enough time really in without fuel and tires to really, in my opinion, stay ahead of the curve and stay ahead of the curveball. Unless he's going for a completely different angle here. The only thing I can think of is he's maybe trying to see if he can just stretch it out on fuel. If everyone has to go back in for a set of tires and run and fuel here, I just don't see that working out too well. Especially when that way Sure Feeds number 90 of Richard Fornshow, the way he's playing here. Yeah, I don't know what's going with that number 90, but he seems to be playing a very unique strategy. He's going a very long distance run here, a very long distance fuel mileage, as well as Kevin Kershaw and William Mann Jr. right now. We saw what William did back literally Sunday night here on the show. He put up a great fight and a great showcase for him and his crew down in Iowa. But as per usual, unfortunately, sometimes the strategy just did not play in the same way he can race. It would cost him there yet again. Kevin Kershaw has gone into pit road, so Fornshell and Mann Jr. have now leaned their way in. The 5 of Robert Lawrence here already in a hot brigade. This is the number 1 of Nathan Meyer. Looks to try to take him away. Coming right off the ends, turn number 2 here. Meyer is now moving the chains again. He's got right back up there with his teammate Janzik. And these guys are getting closer and closer. Just taking away the number 1 spot. George Young and William Mann Jr. will take first and second respectively, as Fornshell is currently being put back behind the 8-ball here. Man, the thing is, these guys just getting their laps back and their fuel back and their speeds back. That's just crazy to me how fast they're even hitting these turns, hitting these corners up, and seemingly with like little to no effort, to say the least here. Yeah, on board camera here with James Harris. So as you watch him pull off that Stillo helmet design, as well as the Green Mountain Grills Champion Power Equipment Beast and the number 4 colors he's represented well, and colors he's brought to the table many times on our show, and he continues to represent with pride and dignity, as would be the per usual. Now on to the Elite Performance Motor Industries Company, powered by Team Conti, Robert Lawrence, number 5. Usually I'm so used to seeing him drive it was what he nicknamed it, the Blaster Master out here, but the Blaster truck today has kind of gone in the way of the Dodo Bird. He decided to kind of hang it up for the night. I guess he wanted to give it a little bit of a break, a little bit of time to breathe. As Richard Fornshell right here, unfortunately, having some troubles down here. Got loose on the exit of pit road. Now have to try to make up for it with some speed, and that seems to be a bit of a problem for him. William Mann Jr. currently ahead of Jantic, Meyer, and all of them by about a 12-second gap here, but that's not saying much. Especially now with the way lap traffic is kind of doing him in here. I think he knows he's in trouble. Is he going to go to pit road? Yes, he will. So now Jantic and Meyer, they'll come off the ends from the dog leg, entering in turn number 1 and 2, and take down William Mann Jr. The 88 of Garth Snyder now sneaking his way through lap traffic as well, getting ahead of Charles Whitehead. He is currently a lap down at the moment, but maybe not for long if he can start to charge up a little bit more. But the damage on that 88 Valvoline machine is completely nullified and ruined up pretty badly here. Just to give you guys kind of an idea of that here, just take a look at this, man. This thing is beaten, it's tore up, and it looks all shredded up as can be. That's not how you want to represent that truck, but at the same time, it's a contact sport, and we're going to see that happen quite a bit. Ross Kilgore, after that little spin and a little tag tap he had with Charles Whitehead earlier on, seems to have got the Rod Baker Ford F-150 number 2 back into the frame, back on the fight as he goes up against Josh Ball and the old Winn-Dixie F-150. Josh Ball has had a great season from top to bottom here on multiple fronts, obviously making it to the playoff championship rounds. But there is one glaring issue right now. You may have noticed on our tower here. He's currently running in 17th position, and he is a lap down. This could spell disaster for him if he's not careful. He's gonna have to start figuring things out a little bit. I have a feeling that things could be getting a little bit harder for him to control and to get around. We'll see if that is the case. Right now, as Jantic and Meyer continue to lead this one out. Race fans, when we come back, we're not done here yet. From the last bit, we'll see what happens when we return with the Green Mountain Grills Fast and Fun Truck Series. Tonight's race, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you in part by Green Mountain Grills. If you guys need the best wood-fired pillar grills in the market, well, there was only one brand name we trust in. Here in Iowa, the winter storms and everything get pretty bad around where I live, so I only rely on my crew with Green Mountain Grills. They've given me the best designs and the best pieces of equipment I need to get through the barbecue days. So a big shout out to them and a big thank you from us here at PTM Racing TV as well from the Fast and Fun Truck Series. Be sure to check them out on their website, www.greenmountaingrills.com. Speaking of extreme heats here, you mean talk about extreme colds? Well, I'll talk about extreme heat, man. There's a good thing about those grills too, is that they actually can handle this hot Avondale heat. Maybe only 77 degrees here in the cold weather, but to us right now, that's literally like steaming hot. Like that's like I might as well just go for a little bathe in the lakes here, or go for a little skinny dipping or something like that. I ain't want nothing to do with that. That heat would just be way too much in my opinion. Just about 35 laps remaining here on the show, and really has been nothing but clean, hard-fought racing. And this is exactly what these drivers wanted to bring to the table. They told me earlier that one of their biggest goals was to see, can everybody come out clean, and can they come out with the fights, a good, strong, prolonged fight. I think we've got that and then some here, and that's exactly what we wanted to know. And it is good to see that is working out in their favor, and that is working around the track here. Because, I mean, in all honesty, that could definitely be more of a workaround than most realize. Tyler Meeks, the number 35 Camping World Silverado here. He is currently the #1 guy when it comes to the fastest lap. He laid down a solid, blistering 27.19. The one that was closest to him was Jantic with a 27.21. Wasn't quite enough there to take him down and really knock him up a few pegs. But really, I don't think it matters too much here on this track. I think really what matters to them is just getting around the corners and getting around the field. A bit of a dogfight here down from past dog legs, dog turns, and all around through turn number 2. 56 of John Thacker here, going to go out of here with Richard Fornshell. Fornshell had the lead earlier on. And you can see he's still trying to make his long run work out, but he's definitely not doing himself any favors burning that tires up. And in all honesty, I don't see everybody not going into a little bit of a longer run, a little bit of a longer stance here, the way they've been playing it out. Back on board with that Keystone Light, number 56 here, as he continues to try to drive this thing into the ground and drive it on the track. Looking for any kind of opportunity he can to get momentum going, get more speed built up. Everybody has been doing a great job so far. Just kind of launching themselves, watching every angle, watching every turn, and doing what they have to do. But that doesn't necessarily mean that's all been glitz and glamour. There have been a few little hiccups here or there, and some drivers actually putting some fenders and bumpers to one another. You know, nothing too special, just the old short track racing mantra. And it is a mile-long track, so it's not exactly an intermediate, but it's not exactly a big track. But it's too big for a short track, so what would we call this track? Do we call it like the middle of the road track for NASCAR, or what do we exactly name it? I'm kind of curious. Maybe they just do name an intermediate track, and I'm just completely going insane. I don't know, that's all I got to say about that. Steve Clegg right now having a little bit of company here as he tries to keep his Wonder Bread, number 22, all wrapped tight, sealed up quick here. Having a good little run off here. Every single one of them just doing what they can, trying to make the better of the two situations. Fornshell, though, seems to have the better line, the better run, entering into the corners here, but that's not saying much. Fornshell going straight back down low into the dog leg, and he'll build up a lot more speed, cutting the track down a few notches. Think of like that dog leg, the way they're entering into that turn as like a shortcut. And the closer they can get down on the bottom end of the ledge of that run, the better off they will become. And it helps them out so much so than often than not that actually will give them a little bit more runoff here. Looking at the lap times right now, Trey Whitehead currently trying to work his runs and trying to work the field in a little bit with 26 laps left to go. He knows Meyer, though, and Jantic are not going to give him any breathers, not going to give him any chances to breathe. As we take a look at Jantic and Meyer's case. And earlier, Jantic was a one hell of a mire out, actually keeping pace with them, but now this is a complete opposite. Janzik not playing around, man. Here's the thing. You guys remember back in that race, Janzik actually got collided in turn number 3 and 4, which ended up costing him a season championship, and the only time anyone would have been able to ever come away with back-to-back, not just back-to-back seasons, but also in a single season-wise, wouldn't be able to come away with a championship run. No one's been able to do it twice yet. So that just goes to show you how difficult that championship remains and how it is. For guys like Harris, though, and Jantic and them, they have a very good chance to go and get two championships to their name, but there's a lot of other drivers that would certainly like to disprove them wrong and make sure that they don't give them that opportunity. Question is, will they get it? Will they be able to get it? Harris right now, literally about a 3-second gap behind Trey Whitehead. Trey's been just kind of laying consistent last round track. Looks like Harris might be slowing up a little bit here, entering into those corners. Yeah, we went from that really long run to now kind of that short run. And it seems like everybody's being a little bit more, I don't even know what's the best way to put it. It's being a little bit more conservative than anything. Nobody's really trying to make any big moves, really trying to make a huge hit here. Although Brock Whitehead seems to be thinking the other way around. Every driver themselves here. Oh boy, though, look out, Russ Kilgore out turn 2. Oh my! That Rod Baker Ford F-150 just completely lost a lot of ground there and lost a lot of time. Almost sent him straight back to the Shadow Realm. And that's one thing I know with the Shadow Realm: they do not have cookies down there. You don't want to get stuck there, sir. And I know they don't have any grills down there either. That would have been a bad omen there to be stuck into. But hanged on and kept himself in check and in play. Brock Whitehead, though, still trying to get the National Guard, number 82, in a mix of that Camping World, number 35. Meeks trying to hold back the run, trying to hold back his fire under the hood. It's just so darn difficult, though, to really take aim and take shape here when you got so many other factors going on. You got that truck starting to tighten up on you. The wheels are starting to get burnt in. You know, your hands are starting to sweat. You're starting to get a little bit antsy. You're trying to figure out whether or not you want to hit the gas pedal harder, if you feel like it should be a little softer. This is kind of that overall deal I always say is the toughest thing to get around, which is how each driver handles each of these corners. If it were me right now, it would have been all about just conserving the fuel. Tires are one thing and driving harder is one thing, but to me the fuel and how long you can go out with it would have been the main criteria. And with everybody kind of going in at pretty much the exact same point with a halfway, and that's where I feel like it kind of set everyone's course off target and offline. Greg Jantic has now moved the chains up ahead of lap traffic and ahead of the whole field. You could call him the head of the table right now as he continues to just mount charges after charges. Right at the moment here, currently 14th on back is a lap down, and they're going to put even further back in. There is no stopping these guys. The leaders are just laying in this thing and giving it all they've got to finish this out. For those that have tuned on in with us here tonight, first off, thank you so much for joining us here on PTM Racing TV. Second off, if you do enjoy the show, like and follow us up here on Facebook, head to our YouTube and subscribe there so you never miss a show. We go live there from time to time. And be sure, as always, to check out the great sponsors, the great people that have helped brought these shows on from the tracks for the race league and all that. So be sure to check out Green Mountain Grills and all of them at their website, greenmountaingrills.com, so you're not missing any of their loose exclusive grills and all that they bring to the table. as a caution will at last fly on out. There's trouble down here on the back straightaway. And it's Robert Lawrence in the number 5. And I'm not sure if he thinks if he Ricky Bobby's this thing all around the track that it'll actually will help him here. I think he's just trying to get it straightened out is what he's trying to do. Well, let's take a look at the PTM instant replay here and find out what happened. Unfortunately for the number 5, as we present to you, presented by Green Mountain Grills. Looks like he catches the apron just right there. He's trying to save it, get it off back online, and they're going for a tail whip, tail spin. Caution flag flies right out as they go right by the drivers and go right by the track. And I honestly thought we were going to go a full lap distance for 100 laps straight, but now things got completely reverted in and flipped upside down, and that could mean trouble for some of these drivers. Let's take it down now and talk with some of the guys here and get their thoughts on the race here just today. We're going to start with the NPR crew and show them a little love. Let's take it down with George Young in the number 48. He joins me now here in the booth real quick here. And George, you got a copy, sir?
I do, my man.
Hey, my friend, right now it has been a long, long run. And earlier on, we saw you kind of going for that long distance on the fuel. Did it just not play out the way you were hoping for?
Yeah, I'm struggling here saving tires. I'm not doing a very good job. So, I was kind of staying out there, hoping maybe a caution came out. But, it is what it is. We'll see what we can do here. I didn't expect this caution to come out, so it looks like we're going to have a little bit of a shootout.
We are certainly indeed. Well, nevertheless, George, we do appreciate you coming on board here, sir. Best of luck here as we get ready to finish this race out and the season as well.
All right, thank you.
From the NPR crew there, George Young right there on the call. We'll now take it down here and have a listen in with some of our other guys here. As right now in the top 10 coming out of pit road, we're going to go ahead and listen into some shake and bake racing. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Jason Taylor and the number 15 Remington Chevrolet Silverado. And Jason, do you have the copy, sir?
I got you, bud. How's it going?
Well, pretty good, sir. Right now, at the moment, you guys have been pretty dead set and dead focused on putting this 15 into the fight, and now you have definitely put it into the show. Now, what do you do to try to get more spots and some more ground here?
I want to say my best option is to dodge the chaos fixing to happen.
Well, what would you say there on that one?
It's fixing to get crazy. Try to stay out of trouble. I think my truck's a little bit better on the short run, so this might play into my hands here.
Well, if it does, then it'll certainly be a bit of a go-getter here. We'll see what happens, though. Best of luck there, Taylor.
All right, enjoy it.
Absolutely. Number 15, Jason Taylor, coming on board here to talk with us. Take it down now. We're going to listen in with the number 90 here of Richard Fornshell as he is trying to pilot up his team there from Freedom Mullet Racing, ladies and gentlemen. Now he joins me here as well. Let's take a listen now. Here he comes on the line. Fornshell, you got the copy, sir?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, so Fornshell, earlier you were the only one to go the longest distance and the longest field out of the bunch, if you don't count William Mann Jr. or George Young. But now you kind of had a little bit of trouble coming off pit road. We saw what happened there.
I just got greedy. I saw the empty track in front of me, and it's like, tried to take the apron before my car was or before my truck was ready for it. So I hit it, and it said nope, and around I went. I'm just glad I didn't actually end up in the wall.
Well, you didn't end up in the wall, and with 10 to go, this could definitely play out in your favor or give you a hand. Best of luck here on this final restarts.
Thanks, bud. Take care.
Absolutely. Richard Fornshell, the number 90 now, talking us through what he's got going on. Field will go back around the track here and get settled back down. We have a 10-lap shootout underway, race fans. You want to talk about some wild moments? You're about to get one. It's time to get crazy here. Off a corner, number 4, onto the green flag, restart zone. Listen to the hammer down, look at them run their field down in play. Oh, and Meyer already in the wall. Trouble down there on turn number 1 and 2. We got guys all over the place here, wrecked right in. And, well, you know, Jason Taylor just said a minute ago he was hoping to avoid the carnage, and it was going to get crazy. He was not lying. And I think it's very clear now that, yes, the broadcaster curse still very much exists. What on earth happened here? Let's take a look at the replay. We're gonna go to that. We're gonna go to a couple of views here. We'll take a look at this from a couple angles. It looked like there may have been contact between the two here. Oh no, there was contact between the 15 and the 82. Yeah. Look at the. Oh man, look out for Russ Kilgore. My goodness. Kilgore going upside down, flipped on his roof and all over the place. He's getting word right now in the booth that he is okay, but he's not too thrilled about Taylor there end up doing whatever he did, he says. Let's find out what if Taylor did do this. So, you know, he said he was trying to avoid the carnage. I don't think he thought he was going to get into the carnage. Looks like he had the opening, and looks like Rockhead just kind of got clipped in with him. Oh man, talk about a camera angle there with that 2 just running right over him like a monster truck. I know these are trucks, but I didn't realize they turned them into bigger wheels on these things. Holy smokes. Wow. And things getting flipped upside down once again before we get back to the restart zone here. Looks like we're going to have a chance to talk with Robert Lawrence here in number 5. Let's listen in with him here and get his thoughts on this one, because this really has been an all-out fight for him and his Freedom Mullet Racing team. Let's take a listen and see if he can give us a line on the call. Robert, do you have a copy down there, sir?
Unfortunately.
Well, I mean, I was going to pull you in. I was trying to hope to stay away from getting you when the carnage happened, but nevertheless, carnage has been kind of having for you all day. You got a little bit of problems coming through turn 1 and 2 before on the first caution. What happened there?
The one that I got loose and looped it around, I just got a little too excited for the happy pedal, and tried catching it, thought I had it, tried catching it again, thought I had it, and it said nope, and whipped it around, and yeah, now I'm back here. Luckily back on the lead lap, so I can see what I can maybe do in a few laps, but went from having a solid top 5 to not a great night, so well.
Don't catch yourself out yet there, Robert. It's not over until it's over, brother.
Yep, hopefully I can make something out of it.
For sure there. Best of luck on the final restarts.
Yep, thank you.
The number 5, Robert Lawrence there. You can see, you hear in his voice a little bit of that dejection, that feeling he's got. He is definitely not too thrilled with how this one's played out. But as we now bring it in real quick here, the William Mann Jr. has now hit the show. William, you had earlier on a lot of strategy playing out with the fuel, but the long run, now everyone else has kind of changed and reverted that back here. Now how do you kind of change from a short track, a long run basis to that short run basis here, sir?
Oh, I reckon it's going to be a lot more throttle and a lot less saving. I mean, we got a little shootout left here, so try not to get ran over, and hopefully we can push some people the heck out the way.
Well, you got a bumper down there and a couple of pieces of equipment. I think you could learn some from the Coliseum clash last night. So, well, we'll see what happens.
Sounds good, man. Appreciate it.
William Mann Jr., ladies and gentlemen, number 29. Give him one last word, maybe one last little last move or prayer here for these other drivers. Let's get him off turn number 2. Pace truck is out and about. That means it's time to get back to racing. 5 laps left to go. Five to go. We saw what happens when these guys got 10 to go. Will the same situation pop up again? We're about to find out. Coming off turn number 4, look for the green flag to fly and the lights to light on the cactus tree. We light them off down out of turn 4. Green flag back in the air. 3, 4 wide scenarios popping up already. Drivers looking for openings. Jason Taylor there is going to have major problems though. The 15 sent sideways and spinning on around. Oh, it looks like Wilcox is going to get the same treatment here coming off of turn 2. And now things are getting crazier and things are going to get a little bit more on the wild side. The sad part is literally we were just driving this thing into the ground. It looked like everyone was cleared out of problem territory and cleared into the good runs here. And now that has completely changed. Carl's Whitehead on the wall there, you just see. And Wilcox, you can see he just drove that himself. He had nowhere to go. Didn't get tagged by anybody, didn't get hurt, but he definitely ended up costing himself more than I think it was worth. You see Bounty, how close he was, but look at the number 53 here. Look at the rear end slide out. You can see the wheels. Look at that rear end. He's already sliding. Once it slides out, nothing he can do but great driving and control to stay off the wall, though, at least, and stay out of troublesome territory. That definitely takes a lot of skill and a lot of control there. But let's take a look now at what happened to the 15 here of Jason Taylor. This is what happened to the 15. Goes into the corner, 3 wide saluting. He's trying to make a move off, and look at the 2 there. Russ Kilgore just overdrove it. Ended up coming down. He looked like he was setting for the turn. And unfortunately, Taylor plays as a victim in this one. And that is a tough break there for Taylor. You just can't kick a guy down any more than he already is. And that was certainly one of those scenarios. Well, I mean, the good news is we got quite a few interviews in, and drivers managed to get their voices heard and voices shown, but now this has pretty much turned into just a battle of supremacy and control. We had a really good long run there. Everything looked like it was going great and it was going to be an alright race, but now it seems as though that short run style has kind of risen upon these guys. And this is not good also if you're in that green banner scenario, because you know your playoff hopes and championship hopes could be dashed here if you have one wrong move go your way. Meyer, Janzik, Harris, they've all got to watch it. Janzik, you know, is going to be extremely aggressive here because, again, he's still got a lot on his plate and on his mind trying to win it out. William Mann Jr., much of the same. His championship hopes going to be dashed here if he's not too careful. They have some work to do. Tyler Meeks in 35 also trying to get something kind of cleared up. He had a little bit of problem earlier on. Now seems to have got it fixed up. Truck seems to be just tight enough for a long last run. Do any of these drivers have anything left, though, to finish this one up? And I don't think Fortune was too happy with Bounty there, actually, for something. I don't know what that was all about, but you see the cone getting a little bit of a tap and a half there. It got sent right at 34. Almost looked like he punted it. You know, in the NFL, they give a few extra points there for a good kick in the end zone. Well, I think that was kind of what he had in mind. But race fans, this is time to end this one out. Phoenix Raceway has been a collective battle and a bargaining for drivers, but somebody's got to clear this one up. You see the flagman literally got that flag in the air. He's ready to wave it. He's ready to bring it back down. Drop the hammer. Let's get this one finished up here at Phoenix. Who will be the one to do it? Everyone's going to be in a shootout frenzy here looking for openings. Everyone stays clear of trouble. Kevin Kershaw gets into the wall protection though here as he goes off at turn number 1 and 2 and off the dog leg. Yellow flag back on out. Once again, there's trouble. There is trouble down here. Wilcox yet again involved. Can't quite tell where everyone else was in that. I do not know for sure where the wreck came from or where it started. We'll have one last green-white checker coming up, and I think I might have an idea what had happened here. Here's the look of the replay. Watch the 53 yet again. Same corner in the same area. I mean, I know as a driver what it's like to do that, but the thing is, you've just got to watch that turn. You've got to make sure you can feel the tires underneath you if you're going to drive that hard. Driving too quickly there, it really hurts everything on that end. And you can see right there, once the truck was loose, he was off throttle too. He was trying to keep it consistent, but I guarantee you he could not feel all those tires, and it ended up just swinging it right at him there. John the Diamond saying never noticed the cactus lights up with the light colors. Yeah, that is one neat thing about that, actually. It does light up. You can actually see the yellow flag right on the light strip as you see our flag move with the yellow. It's pretty neat. This is one of those updates they made on iRacing not too long ago. It was an update that they made to actually reconfigure up Phoenix. They actually gave it a fresh coat of paint and actually a fresh coat updated version from 2021. And in my opinion, if you ask me, it's definitely the best of two worlds. So now, it's all about one thing, and that's just getting ahead of the field. There's a last minute hope, there's a last minute dash here for these drivers, and what can boil down to it. The question is, who will be the one to finish this race? We've cranked it up, we've turned a few laps, we've thrown the cameras around, we've had ourselves a time and a half here on PTM Racing TV. But we need to end it sometime, and now this final green-white checkered will do that. Whatever happens, if the caution flies, it's over. It don't matter what happened, you're done. The race is over with. There goes the lights on the cactus tree, and the lights are now set. Every one of these drivers will await that green flag drop and just complete this lap or two they will get. If they went into pit road and got some fuel and got some tire end on that, they definitely will have a chance here to end this race up on a high note. This is a huge moment coming up here on PTM Racing TV right now. Which one is it going to be? Will it be Meyer? Will it be Janzik? Will it be Whitehead, Meeks, Harris, Bounty? Or maybe someone from the field. Pearson, Clegg, Forteller, Snyder. Somebody's walking away with this one. Who's it going to be, though? Over corner number 4 to the restart zone. The GMG restart zone has been hit, and the green flag is back on out. One more time around. Everybody looking for an opening. They're seeing it. Janzik's going to get sent up there. Meeks is going to the inside. Got a huge run off here. Can he get just one more spot? He'll try to hold down the line and get to Meyer. Everybody literally looking for a position while they can through the field. The white flag is out this time by. They're going to get it to the white. Can they finish it? Can they hold on? Janzik's trying everything he can to get around his teammate in the Oval Sim Performance. Maybe now has to try to play a different strategy and just help him out. Oh, Whitehead goes for a ride. He's going to wreck him completely out here. Big wreck for the champion Charles. The champion drivers have wrecked completely on the back straightaway and out of turn 3 and 4. It's gonna be Nathan Meyer walking away with this one. Wow. A huge collision course. Costs not only championship drivers, but also maybe their hopes and dreams of becoming a Green Mountain Grill season champion. Many of them, I guarantee you, are probably looking at this one thinking, what the heck just happened around here? But for two of them, they cannot be any more thrilled and happy about this. Teammates in their own right. And the race winner will be, of course, Nathan Meyer here at Phoenix as he pulls away with the W. Gets the victory here in Avondale. And this one may be the one he's been needing for a time or two. Absolutely chaotic and absolutely amazing, to say the least, just what these drivers endure, what they go through on a constant basis, and then to finish this one out at such a high note and a high crazy end just goes to show you everything and anything is possible here on PTM Racing TV. Your race winner, Nathan Meyer, coming away with the W. Second to Greg Janzik. Third to James Harris. Fourth to Tyler Meeks. Fifth to Sean Bounty. Sixth to Richard Fornshell. Seventh to Trey Whitehead. Eighth to Robert Lawrence. Ninth to Brock Whitehead. 10th goes to George Young. That'll round out your top 10 in this one. The rest of your field being shown as well here on the gridding area. Ignore Eli Childs there. He was race control for the drivers tonight to get them settled away. Quite a few names, though, shockingly, are going to be on the lower end of the spectrum and may have just had their championship hopes crushed from that final end there. Let's take it down now and have a listen in with our top three, because I guarantee you some of them have a few words to say about this one. But let's start off here with the Marauder James Harris real quick as he brings in 3 Wide Motorsports, another top podium finish. First off, Harris, congratulations on that one. And, you know, really, we were talking about this for a little bit. We were trying to figure out, are the tires going to be able to hold up as much as the fuel is going to hold up? And then at the end, it was just, can anybody even keep these trucks in play and online for the end? What was going through your mind when you got to that top 3?
I don't know, man. I was just wondering if I was going to hold up, because it was a horrible day at work, dude. I'm extremely exhausted. I actually think I'm getting sick, so I was just trying to survive tonight, man.
I survived quite a long ways, quite a long shot here. I know that things were getting a bit crazy here coming to the line, coming to the end. I'll ask you this, though, real quick. I mean, you had to fight away with sickness, it sounds like. How bad was the truck, though, when you got to the end of this?
Well, I was extremely busy this weekend. Like I said, I didn't have time today to practice, so this race was actually my first half of the race was my practice. So, you know, it took me a while to figure out how our setup was on the long run and the short run. And by the time we got there, all the cautions started coming out at the end. So, but I think I probably had a second or third place truck after filling out how this setup was. So we're really happy with third. Gives us some decent points heading into Talladega next week, because Lord knows what the hell's going to happen there.
Well, we'll have to find out, because, I mean, at the end of the day, there's going to be a lot more crazy racing on way and on track. So, as we sign off here with you tonight here, my friend, who do you want to thank here for this one?
Yeah, let me thank my beautiful wife, Courtney, for putting up with all my sim racing. Green Mountain Grill sponsoring the league and my truck for 3 seasons in a row now. Those guys have been really good to me. Champion Power Equipment, Kevin Kirscher with Blackstone Management, and PTM for always doing a fantastic bang-up job.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, Harris, congratulations, sir, on this third place finish. Great to see you back in the spotlight.
All right, man. Thank you.
James Harris, right now, ladies and gentlemen, your third place finisher here tonight. As we take it down now and talk with the man that'll come away second out of all this one, it is Craig Janzik in the number 40. And Janzik, this one looked like from the get-go on that second half, you had Meyer's number there, and you had a lot of his speed. I know you two were teammates out there, but I mean, when you guys were coming to the end, did you just try to make a pack and say, like, we need to go 1-2, or you just say, let's just go out for it and see what happens?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a hybrid of those two things, to be honest with you. We were convinced real early in the race that we were the two fastest, and we knew that it was going to be a good fight between the two of us. Had there been a caution coming, and I knew that I was better on old tires, and I mean, I kind of felt like the race was going to be gone as soon as we got that very first yellow there on 83 or so. I kind of knew that the race was in pretty severe jeopardy to Nathan there, because like I said, for just whatever our driving style is, I had his number on all tires. But nothing to be depressed about with a 1-2. I tried that outside lane on that restart because I thought that there was going to be some type of a better bite there, because it worked for Nathan to get by me that one time, and then it worked for me to get back by him. So I figured, well, maybe there's something to that, and yeah, he straight up schooled me there. So kudos to him. One of my good friends here. Getting the win is never anything to be disappointed about, but in a selfish way, yeah, it definitely feels like we let one go away here if it was going to go green the whole way.
For sure there. Now, nevertheless, though, as you come away here with a second place finish, I guarantee this product's going to help out your cause for the championship hunt. How bad do you want to get this championship at the end of the day, though, for you and your team?
That completes a trifecta for me for being able to have the IROC championship, the Cup championship, and a truck championship. I want this so bad, and knowing that we go into Talladega next week in a lot better shape than some of our competition still in the playoffs. It feels really good. I won't lie to you. We know what we're capable of at Talladega as well. Plate racing wise, we have a good team for that, and our teamwork is always bar none, honestly. Whether it's me and Nathan or Meeks and Garth, we saw Garth and I dominate Daytona to start out this season. So I know that Talladega is right within our wheelhouse too, but the chaos that Talladega brings is certainly something to be aware of too, and having a 1-2 and Meeks in fourth as well. Really wanted him to get third, but he got shipped there into three by a couple of guys. So no biggie there, but we're in really good spots, and that's what I can ask for as an owner.
For sure there. Well, Jazik, is there anything else left you want to say to your friends, family, or sponsors here to thank them today?
Yeah, just so thankful for everyone tuning in every week. Putting on really good shows like this is always good. Thanks to Green Mountain Grills, Champion Power Equipment, BSM, for all their support throughout the whole season. Thanks to the Free Beer and Hot Wings show for being on the truck, and Elite Performance Industries as well for hooking us up with bad fast sets. I mean, you saw what we were wheeling here tonight, and it's good to have in your pocket. So we'll move on to Clash tomorrow night. That's going to be fun to say the least, and we'll have more fun there tomorrow night too.
For sure there. All right, Jancic, nevertheless, congratulations on your second place finish, and we will see you for the Clash tomorrow night here on the road for Fast Fun Champ Power Equipment Cup Series.
Yeah, man. We'll talk tomorrow night.
Talk tomorrow night indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, Ovalson Performances, Greg Jancic, going to walk away here second as your race winner. Nathan Meyer proves I'm all wrong. It proves he can hang with the big boys yet again. Ladies and gentlemen, he is now here coming out of pit road and in victory lane, and it's a good thing we actually can get into victory lane now here, Meyer, because I saw you literally just celebrating up like a madman. You were happy to get this one.
Yeah, man. This one means more than the other ones. It's my home track, and if you look at all the wins I've had in both of these leagues, it's on tracks where you don't have to break a lot. So this was a big one for me.
It certainly was indeed. Now, I'm going to ask this real quick. You had a lot going on, obviously, not only this being a race that you needed to win for you, only to kind of help yourself or help sport as well for your friends and family, but this one really boiled down to a points get and a huge situation momentum booster. How did you really kind of lay on the throttle and keep everything under control, considering there were guys behind you looking to take you down a few notches?
Yeah, I knew I really wanted to win this race, so on the last restart, I dropped it down to first gear to try to get a better start, and it ended up working out well, and then Craig didn't get off the line as fast, so I was able to clear him, and then, yeah, just kept everyone behind me at the end. It was great. For
sure there. Well, nevertheless, though, as you walk away here with this one today, I'm going to ask you, sir, who do you want to thank here for this win at Phoenix?
Yeah, thanks for you putting this on. Green Mountain Grills, of course, Champion, all those guys for letting us do this. So, yeah, we'll get them next week at Dega.
Sure they will indeed. Dega is coming up. Points get maybe switched around, changed up. Meyer, you're going to walk away with this one still at Phoenix. Congratulations, sir.
Thanks, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nathan Meyer, your race winner here tonight at Phoenix Raceway here in Avondale, Arizona. And really a big thank you to all those that tuned in to watch the show. A big thank you to Green Mountain Grills again for your support. If you guys need the best wood-fired pellet grills on the market, Green Mountain Grills is the only branded name that we can trust in and that we must always see through it into. Nevertheless, here, a big thank you to them. Check out our website, www.greenmountaingrills.com, for more information and all that. And really a big thank you to every single one of us out, every single one of you that watched the show and tuned on in, everybody. We cannot thank you enough. Talladega is next week, and really, just 1 sec, I'm just kind of give you guys a little idea of what we're going to do next week as well, or tomorrow night as well. But just kind of going over the points here, looking at this position. If you look at the way the drivers that came off from this race, and you look at everything that's gone down, really, there's some big names in here that lost a lot of positions, a lot of timing area here, and really are now getting sent into a bit of a troublesome situation to where they're going to have to really run a lot harder come into that next race at Dega. And Dega is not exactly a track that's going to give you a lot of breathing room, a lot of time to work up. So that's going to really boil down to, I would say, more and less consistency and control. And more than likely, at the end of the day, that may be the thing that outdoes or outclasses some drivers out here. So we will have to take a look at that and keep an eye on that later on. But for now, anyway, race fans, we're going to sign off for now and call this one good. Big thank you again, everybody, again, for watching this and the Green Mountain Girls Fast and Fun Truck Series, for all your support. All of us here at PTM Racing TV, thank you so much. I'll catch you guys tomorrow night. The Clash is coming up.